Anthem CTF on TryHackMe. So let's do that. And okay, so we have the IP. Let's try accessing it. Okay, let's maybe wait for a couple of minutes. Okay, so now it's finally accessible. So that means the machine is properly booted and configured now. Okay, so yesterday we were able to figure out all the flags that were present within the site, and we'd also figured out the name as well as email for the website administrator. So, what should we do next? In the final stage, it says, let's get into the box using the intel we gathered. So, what should be our next step now?
Trying to get the shell, we should try to get the shell.
And how would we do that?
We have two options. Maybe we can try exploiting RDP port, or maybe we can just go onto the login page we found and try using default credential of the CMS that the this website is using.
Okay. So, no, you're saying exploit. That's not an exploit. Okay. Entering credentials and using something is not an exploit. Okay. So, one is RDP, right? When we did the scan yesterday, we used Nmap. We saw that there were two ports open, port 80 as well as 3389. So that 3389 is for RDP. Now, in order to access the RDP service, you have a few different options. Okay, if you want to go for non-command line tools, there's Remina. If you want to use that, okay, but I prefer doing this via the command line because I find it faster. Xfree RDP is the tool that I'm going to use. And if you're unfamiliar with this tool, all you have to do is just press enter and you'll see a lot of information about it and you'll see how to use this tool. Okay, now it seems like there's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of commands, but just look at the usage examples that they've given. Okay, so the main thing that you need to keep in mind is you need to have a username, a password, okay, and you need to know where to connect. Okay, you should have a host name or an IP. So those are the three main options we need to use: XP, RDP, username. Okay, what is the username that we should use here based on what we found so far? What
Solomon Grundy.
Same Gandhi, okay. And what about password? What uh, value should we use as a password?
We don't have a password yet, so we should try. Maybe we should try a blank password.
Blank password, okay, we can try that. Blank password, okay. The next thing we need to do here is specify a host name or an IP. So okay, that is something we already have. This is the IP. Excuse me. Now, if I try to run this, let's see what happens. If you want to trust the above certificate, yes. Hmm. Login failure. So that means these credentials don't work. So what else can we try?
Maybe we can use username as SG. Email ID was sg@anthem.com.
Okay. So let's try that. And password blank.
Yeah, because we don't have any password yet, so I'm not sure about the password. So we should keep it blank, I guess.
Still does not work. Are you sure we don't have any password?
We found something in Umbraco, like robot.txt that was Umbraco's best. Maybe we can try that, but I'm not sure.
We
Again,
could try that. See, even if you're not sure, there's no harm in trying, right? What
yes, yes.
what is the worst that can happen? At most, you will not be able to log in. Let's try that here. Okay, IP won't change. This is the username. Let's see what happens. So this was the correct combination. SG and that password that we found earlier. Okay, so now we are logged into our target system via RDP. So what is the first thing to look at here?
This user file.
User file. Let's see what it is. So this is the user flag. Okay, the user.txt, the text file that contains the user flag. All right. Now we need to figure out the root flag, or in this case, the administrator flag, since this is a Windows system. There's nothing on the desktop, so I'm moving on to Explorer, File Explorer. Let's see what we find. Okay, there's just one drive. So, all right. Now, where should we look?
These are the common files. Maybe we should just look for some if there's
Hello,
maybe we should look for hidden file.
hidden files. Okay. So for hidden files, what do? You go to View and select hidden items. Another option is you can go to the control panel and change the setting there. Okay, so just go to the search. It's a little bit slow. You can just type hidden in a search and it'll take you, like, one of the results that will show you is the setting that you can change for viewing hidden files and folders. But of course, the much easier way to do that is just go to view and select show hidden files. Or if you can just search hidden here and it'll directly take you to that setting. Okay, so where should we go now?
We should check in backup first, and then maybe we can try users and find something like in home, like in document directory or something. If we don't get anything in backup,
Okay, let's see. So in backup, we have a file known as restore. So I can look at this or not. It's saying you do not have permission to open this file. Okay, what now? See, it's saying that you do not have permissions to open this file. Okay, I can go to properties and I can check the permissions and I can see who has permissions and who doesn't. I'll go to properties. Okay, and I'll go to security tab, and what it says here is no groups or users have permission to access this object. However, the owner of this object can assign permissions. However, there is no owner assigned either. So I can try to change the permissions here. To change permissions, click edit. Okay, and we need to add our own user. So object names will be your groups or usernames that you want to allow access to. Okay, this is the object type: users, groups, or security principals. So we want to allow our user, which is SG, check names. Okay, this is okay, and we can allow ourselves whatever permission we want. Read and execute and read, these are actually enough for us. If you want, you can also give yourself full control. Okay, now if I want, I can read this file, and it uh, contains some text. Does not look like a flag, however. So what could this be?
maybe password for a new user, like password for another user, which we can use to get the admin access.
Yes, that might be the case because you already have the password for this account, and this might be another password for this, for an account on this system. All right. So we'll just copy this for now, and let's see what else to do. So that's the extent of what we found in the backup folder, just one file. Where to go now? What is the next folder that we should see? We still haven't figured out any root flags or admin flags, so we need to find that.
Maybe sir, we should switch user because we already got a flag for this user on desktop, and then we have a password for another, I guess.
But what is that user?
Maybe John Doe because that's the only thing we got on the web.
You can just
On
go here and see how many users exist. There is no John Doe.
okay, there's administrator and SG.
Yes, there's just two users.
Maybe
So,
we can try that password for administrator.
right, we can do that. So, what you're saying is we should disconnect and then we'll be able to connect as another user, right? You also have another option actually, but first let's try this. Yeah, this is not going to. So since we are getting a connection, that means that was the administrator password. And as you can see, now we are logging in as the admin. So when you log in as the admin, you see on the desktop there's this root file, and this is our root flag, on the final flag on this system. So once you've done that, of course, that is the end of this CTF. And it's actually opening server manager for us since we are the admin, but we don't need that. So we don't have anything to do with this. You can directly shut down. Okay, so that is the end of this CTF. We have figured out all the flags that we needed to see.
But sir, you said there's another way. What was that?
Okay, another way, yeah, that was simply okay, let's do that. Yes, while logged in as this user, oh yeah, since we shut it down, we need to redeploy it as format.
It's okay that them booting up the machine will take time. You can tell us verbally if that's fine with everyone. Like,
Okay, it's nothing complicated. Just without having to disconnect and connect again, what you can do is you can just while staying logged in as this user, try to access the administrator folder. And since you are not the admin, when you are logged in as the SG account, since you're not the admin there, what you can do is just it'll ask you for the password, enter the password. You've already figured it out. And as this SG user, you'll now also have access to the administrator folder. So that's all.
okay, okay, sir.
Okay, during Nmap scanning, I got not port open result. Can you show me your screen? I can just stop my sharing. Okay, and okay, all 1,000 scan ports are closed. And have you made sure that this is the correct IP? F-IPN. You are scanning your own IP on that network. That's your IP. No, that is not allowed, but why would you want to do that? You can just, if you want to really scan your own system, in fact, you don't even need to scan your own system. You can just look at other commands and figure out what ports are open in your system. Why do you want to have a VPN connection and then scan your system through that? And for whatever machine or room you're trying to solve on Try Hack Me, once you deploy it, it will give you the IP. Okay, so for a quick recap of this particular CTF, what we did was we ran, of course, our Nmap scan. It told us that there were two open ports, port 80 and port 3389. Now we know that port 80 is for a web server. So when we tried to it, access the IP through our browser, we saw a website there, anthem.com, a small website, nothing much. We took a look at the robots.txt file, found a possible password there along with a couple of directories. And however, those directories were not really useful, but that password was useful later on. Then, by looking at the articles present on the website, we were able to see the name as well as email for the administrator. Then we looked for four different flags that were present on the website, found those flags. After that, we tried to access the system using RDP, and the password that we had found in the robust.txt file was the one that we tried, was the one that worked actually, and the username that worked was SG, which is part of what the administrator's email was. So after that, we logged in using RDP and accessed the system. We saw that there was the user flag that was present on the desktop for this SG user. Then we looked for hidden files, found a hidden file, had to change the password in order to, sorry, not the password, the permissions, in order to be able to read it. Then we read the file, got the password for the administrator account, and through that we were able to get into the administrator account and get the admin flag. So, any questions, anything that might not have been clear? No, everything was clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Again, if you have not practiced all of what we are doing on class, I would definitely recommend that you do that in order to get, you know, familiar with the tools that we use and the commands that we run. Okay, so this CDF is done. This anthem is done. And again, the next session will begin with the next one because again, if I start it, it will take first, it will take time to deploy, and then of course our scans will also take a little while. So we'll start that in the next session itself. Okay, so if anyone has any questions, you can stay and ask whatever it is. The rest of you are free to leave. Yes, there is a link. Okay, give me a minute. We have pasted the link for yesterday's session in the chat. Okay, Sonu, what error are you getting exactly? No result during Nmap scan. So could you please show it the screen again? Let me take a look at the exact command that you are running. Okay, so it says it is giving you results. Okay, anything else? Got it. Okay, good. Okay, then I'll see you all next week. You're welcome. Yes, yeah, ask. During the scan, so, like during the Nmap scan, you didn't get any flags during the Nmap scan? Or are you just asking about flags, whatever flags you find, just in general? So flags, there's no use. Okay, like there's no practical use of a flag. It's not like you're going to use that value somewhere, right? In most CTFs, in some CTFs, flags may act as password, but that will be specified by the CTF creator. See, the only purpose of a flag is that if you're solving a machine, if you're working on a machine and you find a flag, you're able to get that flag that acts as proof that okay, this person has been able to solve it this far and he has received this flag. That's sort of a proof. That's all it is. Okay, there's no like you're not going to use that value somewhere, whatever is written in the flag. Yeah, okay, and see, even on the website, okay, let me share my screen and let's go back to our try hacking, right? So when you find a flag and you enter it here, okay, you click on submit. So if it is the correct flag, that means you have been able to solve it correctly. You know that okay, you've done it, you know, you're on the right path. And of course, if you're participating in a CTF as part of a competition, their flags have even more value because when you submit a flag, you get the points for it. And of course, whoever has the most points at the end wins. So that is the main purpose of having flags. Because flags are only accessible after you've performed a certain action. Like let's say in our case, once we were able to log into the system using the credentials, we got the flag. Otherwise, you would not have known what it was. So it acts as proof that you have been able to solve that CTF. Real scanning? I'm not sure uh, what you mean by that. For flags, okay, flags and scanning are not related. Okay, don't relate the two terms. Any importance in real world? No, flags don't have any importance in real world. Of course, when you're doing a penetration test, that won't have any flags there because that's not a CTF. The full form of CTF is capture the flag. So you have to get the flag, and that means this person has been able to solve this. That's all. Okay. See you on Monday.